gentlemen, boys, girls, welcome to the kinkiest race that's ever been. It's the Swedish bikini team and hog tying. My goodness, you guys will just do anything for ratings, won't you?
I mean, if this works, yeah, totally.
It's
Fair
the
enough.
last hog tie.
This is the last Hogtide event.
I am your preeminent host, the Sausage King, Byron Derksen.
Opulent.
And with me, as always, is the Professor of Prestidigitation, Michael Magas, and the lean, mean poutine machine himself, Martin Edmunds.
That would be me. Hello, everyone.
We are here at the Anderstorp circuit for the final of the Swedish Högtid GT4 series. Mike Stoppmill on the pole position at the moment with Christopher Streppen.
Yeah.
Mike carrying, what is it? He's up to 80 kilos on that car at this point?
Nothing can stop him.
Nothing can stop the Lotus in the hands of Mike Stoppmill.
Yeah, he's saying he's carrying a
Whoa!
donkey.
Azar doing his interior Mexican there a little bit.
Possibly.
Speaking of which, there is Mike Stoppmill in the very Swedish-looking Lotus. That is not Mike Stoppmill we're focusing on. That is Sean Kenny.
Yeah.
That's Sean Stoffmill.
That'd be interesting. There's James Butler, who just put up a personal best time and got himself out of last place, overtaking Michael Magas for 8th on the grid. And, yeah, Michael Magas, James Butler are the two really off-the-pace cars here today.
What a bunch of jerks.
Quite a bit. Mike Stoppmill will start from pole ahead of Christopher Streppen, Martin Edmunds, Sean Kenny, Wayne Medeiros, good qualifying for him, Azar Alamore, Tino Konetsky, James Butler, and Michael Magas. The fact that you're driving a KTM there, Martin, doesn't seem to be slowing you down.
No, it actually handled pretty good. So people that have ballast, stop me like you said, 80 kilogram. We have Sean who has 40. Mr. Lazarenko was not there today. Jesse was not there today, and Azar has 10 kilogram. That's the status.
Which is going to play a pretty big role, because there is a massive straightaway on this track.
Yeah, unfortunately, 80 kilogram is still not good enough to stop the stop from getting even the pole here.
We go. We got red lights, and go! There we go. We are off a bit of a clunky start there by Sean Kenny. He lost ground to the top 3, and a couple of people moving up. We'll see who. In the background, Wayne Medeiros and Azar Alamore getting into it a little bit.
Even Butler ended up in the grass.
Butler taking evasive actions, and that has helped out the last place man on the grid, Michael Magas, who's up to P6.
Oh boy, here comes turn 1.
Martin Edmunds clearly trying to curry favor with the judges by picking the best livery there ever was.
Christopher Streppen off the track.
Oh!
Mike Stoppmill off the track. Whoa, what is this? We've got treated twice this week to Mike Stoppmill making an unforced error?
I don't understand.
The world has changed, and I don't know what to make of it anymore.
Just a word about the camera play of TV Cam 2 here. It's awesome on this track. It is really good. We can see the livery very nice and clear.
Indeed, so it is Martin Edmunds in the KTM leading the Lotuses of Sean Kenny and Mike Stoppmill, the Porsche of Christoph Verstappen's in 4th, and then it is Tino Konetsky in the Lotus. So the Lotus is looking pretty strong. The Porsche is looking kind of weak, which is not an indictment of the car. It's just that the drivers in the Porsches are not good.
Christoph, if he could have held it together, although he was a last-minute addition, so he was not prepared. He just jumped in and wanted to have a go at it, and unfortunately, yeah, like I said, wasn't prepared. He had issues.
I do have to say that I think we probably oversold the Porsche's abilities on this track, as Michael Magas loses 6th place to Azar Alamore. It's really fast in a straight line, but it's kind of crappy through the rest of the track as Mike Magas goes sightseeing into
we can see the livery from up close now. This is a wonderful livery. Love it.
Indeed, the Rennsport liveries in general are very, very nice. You can see another one there on Mr. Christopher Streppen, one of the Rennsport cars as well.
And to go back to your point about the Porsche, though, like you said, the straight is insane. And insane enough to give you an idea later on during this race, I can't remember I think it was Verstappen who was following me. And there was 1.4 seconds between us after, turn 1, I guess, or turn 1 and 2, before the straight. And he caught it all up. 1.4 seconds on one straight line.
Oh, absolutely. It's got ridiculous straight line speed. And, of course, the KTM is an absolute slug in a straight line. It is not... It's got a very weak engine in it. It's very light, which kind of makes up for it a little bit, but it is definitively weak in a straight line. I would really be excited to see Sector 3 do something about the GT4s in terms of new cars.
Oh, absolutely.
If we're getting new cars, this would be the class I would most advocate for, because there's a lot of very good GT4 cars in real life, and the 3 that they have imported here are not very well balanced. Like, you have the KTM, which is kind of gutless in a straightaway, but it has great grip, great in a turn, fantastic through twisty bits. You got the Lotus, which is not particularly spectacular at anything, but kind of a middle ground. And then you got the Porsche, which is an absolute beast, but it does have a definitive issue with overheating its tires, one. And number 2, does not handle in turns very well. What that's what I was kind of getting at is that the Porsche is ridiculously strong in the straight line, but when we get to like the Omega symbol in the track, it is very weak through that part.
Well, definitely there's a lot of work to be done on that class. It's something that could easily have 6 or 7 cars, but we're 3.
And very well balanced ones. Give me the Mercedes, the Audi, this class actually has a Camaro that I would drive.
There you go.
But yeah, if you have not checked out the GT4 like ADAC or European series, check that out, because that's a lot of fun, and it would be nice if we could replicate that in Raceroom, but at this moment that is not the case. The top 3 continue to battle here as Edmunds holds off Sean Kenny and Mike Stoppmill. Christopher Streppen in the background. Stoppmill gets down the inside of a wide sliding Lotus of Sean Kenny, and he is through.
Yep.
Stoppmill to second place. Shout out to Tino Konecki. He's having a very solid race there in 5th place.
Solid.
I'm going to have to promote him from his bronze standing for the 3D Speed series, clearly.
Because of this race? Or because he's close to you?
I mean, I'm not the benchmark of silver. The benchmark of silver is just you are able to race relatively cleanly, but your pace is somewhat hampered by whatever issue it would be. And I think he's at the stage where he's a pretty clean racer, and that would match silver more so than it matches bronze. Bronze is for lack of a better term, academy-eligible drivers who are definitively struggling with pace, car control, and basically multiple things. Whereas with Timo, I think it's really just his pace needs a little bit of work, but otherwise he's a pretty complete driver. I enjoyed racing against him last season in 3D Speed.
All right, Timo, you're invited to join the next Saturday series. Although we do have a race this Saturday for the Enduro and then the Aquila. So come on in.
Aquila!
Got the Magas approval.
Oh, I approve of anyone who wants to race and is going to show up. As long as they're not, like, intentionally killing people. Like, that's not cool.
I mean, you say that.
I say that, and I do very much mean that in this game's case. When I want to kill people, I go to the other guy. Verstappen is really catching up, so he's got that Porsche hooked up nicely, and Stoppmill is now putting the pressure on our intrepid leader, Martin Edmunds.
Yeah, try to stop him.
And this is the part of the track where Martin is going to struggle the most, because that is that straight line that we're talking about, the flight straightaway. Stoppmill's a little bit impaired on this straight as well with the 80 kilos we talked about, but the Lotus probably still outgrunts the KTM by a fair bit. He is down the inside, and into the lead goes Mike Stoppmill.
Ooh.
You can see that's the other Rensport livery I was talking about there on Christoph Verstappen, who's getting very, very close to the Lotus of Sean Kenny.
So this drafting action here.
This track is actually apparently returning to the F1 calendar, which to me suggests that it's going to see some significant changes because Formula 1 cars here is kind of a terrifying idea.
That's like going to Monaco. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but Monaco doesn't have like a gigantic straightaway where they're going really, really fast.
Yeah, true. But it's kind of the same idea. You can't pass anywhere. Which is
it's
sad.
not, to be honest, it's not so much the passing. No, don't get me wrong, I want the passing, but it's more that I just see so many potential safety hazards here, and it's a pretty narrow track for F1. It hosted F1 back in the 70s and maybe the 80s. I can't remember when the last one. Let's put it this way, I was not yet born when this track was last raced in F1, and off the track goes Christoph Verstappen in the H2 car. Fortunately for him, Tino is Netsny is not particularly close to him, so he'll retain fourth place. But he loses the back of Sean Kenny, who is gaining quite rapidly on Martin Edmunds in the battle for second place.
Ooh.
Set him on fire.
There's a pretty good battle going on for sixth place between James Butler, Wayne Medeiros, and Azar Alamora. I do hope we get a look at that, because they are very close together.
You set them on fire?
I'm not really a fan of setting them on fire.
Leave.
I mean, it's a possibility, but it's not really something I would co-sign.
There we go.
Oh, Byron, you'll get a chuckle out of this. And in fact, here is the battle we're talking about. James Butler in your most hated car there, Byron.
The one that looks like horrible ice cream?
Yep, that's the one. Azar Alamore looking for a way around Wayne Medeiros. This is a battle between all three Porsches. So, even cars, it's all down to the drivers. And perhaps some setups thing. So, a comical bit for you here, Byron, on the most recent F1 race at Suzuka. They screwed up and ran an extra lap. And everyone was wondering why the race results that got posted were not in any way what was shown at the end of the broadcast. In fact, one car that ended up in the wall ended up ninth somehow. So that was interesting.
That sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And here comes Sean Kenny again, gaining on the KTM where it is weakest. That is that straightaway. But it looks like you're able to hold a tighter line than the Lotus and the Porsches through that turn. So does that short circuit some of the advantage on the straightaway, do you think, Martin? Or do you still believe that you're a complete sitting duck heading into that turn?
Oh, I'm screwed because of that. No matter what I do, I mean, I could try to push him a little bit on the outside since I can brake so much later than them and try to make him move to the outside, but apart from that, nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm. There's Azar Alamore. I don't know if this is his home track. He's, of course, from Sweden. We should ask him at some point which of these tracks was, like, his home designate track. I'm going to go in and take a wild guess that it was Karlskoga, because he put up some very good results there.
Yeah, he was pretty excited about that. Disappointing turnout, though. Only 9 driver there, which is too bad. But yeah, we did go a little bit out there with the Swedish track that not a lot of people have.
Now, mind you, I'm a little bit puzzled why this one got the smallest grid size, because Anderstorp, I would think, would be the one track that people might actually own. Like, it's the most likely Swedish track to be purchased. Mm-hmm. So it was a bit weird that this was the smallest grid as opposed to, say, Mantorp or Karlskoga or Knutsdorf or...
Actually, it wasn't the smallest.
Oh,
it was a race. We only had 6 of them.
Oh,
when you and I were at Byron.
Oh, well, that doesn't count.
Well, that's 2 drivers out.
Yeah, but I mean, you subtract us from this grid, and it's down to 7. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I think also, again, the fact that these cars are not particularly BOP compliant probably made it a bit of a bad combo. I'd be interested in maybe revisiting this idea of like the Swedish tracks, but with a more either popular car or like even a spec car.
Like the Expo or something like that.
Well, the Expo doesn't really cover the popularity part, but
yeah, no, it's brutal.
Does Expo look kind of like Tybo?
The KTM Expo is a car that's very weird.
It's more like it's more like a go-kart.
Made only in Montreal, the Expo.
Oh, off the track goes Sean Kenny.
What is the frequency on that one?
Kenny losing the car, and is he going to rejoin in 4th place? Yes, he will. I think we can safely say it. Wayne Medeiros and Azar Alamore overtaking James Butler. By the way, James Butler doing pretty well in the race. He struggled in qualifying, was in the 140, so that 139.7 that he's got up here in the race is quite impressive. So he's figuring out the frequency and getting more on the pace as time goes on. I'm interested to see what he can do in race number 2.
Oh, camera change. I remember I needed to change the camera on the long straight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see some chopper
action.
So
it's basically Azar and Wayne, I think, for the remainder here. Everyone else is fairly spread out, with more than 3 seconds between them. You got James Butler in the background here. That I don't really think James can quite stick with these guys because I'm looking at the fastest lap times again. James a 39.7. Azar a 38.6. That's a full 1.1 second differential. I imagine he will not keep with these two Porsches, but Wayne can be unpredictable, so maybe that will come into play. And it's not Wayne's fault, I don't think. He's one of those high-paying racers that it's always going to be a little bit troublesome.
Speaking of ping, how was it tonight on my connection?
I had no problems myself.
I saw a ping of you and I 35, which is quite nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't see any particularly high pings out of the ordinary. Like I said, Wayne was rocking a relatively high ping, but Wayne is always rocking a relatively high ping, so I don't think that's a sign of a negative of the server.
That's true. The server only can do what the other connection gives it.
Exactly. That's always the challenge of dealing with. That's the reason that a lot of games have regional servers. World of Tanks, for example, me and Byron's game. There's the North American server, the EU server, Russia server, Southeast Asia server, and that kind of And we're trying to deal with, frankly, a cross-world server connection here. So I think the performance has been exemplary.
I would say yes.
Oh, Sean Kenny has dropped to 5th, so he must have maybe had a second incident. So come on, Sean, get on the ball.
Missed that. I was gonna say the Azar posted a video of his collision with 2 other drivers at the start there. It was, I believe, Medeiros.
I had a front row seat to that.
Yeah, Medeiros and Butler, and when you watch the replay, there's actually no contact when the car starts flying. So there's definitely a netcode or ping issue there.
Yeah, well, that's what you get when you're dealing with Sweden to Brazil. It's always going to be a little bit of a problem. Sean Kenny running in 5th place. A bit of a disappointing race for Sean. I was thinking podium for him early on, but he's made a couple of mistakes. Seems like he's reeling back in Konecki. By the way, Christoph Verstappen must have made a major error because he was 7 seconds ahead of Tino before. And,
yes.
Well, you can see that has shrunk to about 1 second. So, problems for the Belgian driver.
Well, I was actually very satisfied or very happy to see that on my timer. Because we had 3 seconds apart, and then he was shrinking that to 1.4 seconds at some point. So when he spun or had that, whatever happened, I was pretty happy.
Here goes Sean Kenny, breaking out of the stream of the fellow Lotus, looking to take 4th place back. He's on the outside of this turn. I don't know if this is going to work.
Oh, he's got it.
Okay, no, he was way ahead.
Yeah, Timo played it safe.
Well, also, I would maybe make a recommendation for Timo. I'm wondering if you're running too much wing there, my friend. That because it did look like you just got your butt kicked when he pulled out of your stream, and that's I don't know. It's a little bit problematic when a guy's in the same car as you. And we're now 2.5 minutes left, and of course, the big question that has popped up a lot lately: does everybody have enough fuel?
No.
Well, Travis doesn't have enough fuel, but he wasn't in the race. He didn't even make it to the pit to start the race.
Didn't even make the start of the race. Azar Alamora going down the inside of Wayne Medeiros. Why are you turning away from that? This is what we want to see.
Oh my God! And they exchanged twice.
Who's in charge of this camera?
No offense, Timo, but you are not what we want to be looking at right now.
There we go.
This is what we want to be looking at. Azar got through. Azar to 6th place, ahead of Wayne Medeiros. Can Medeiros get back at him? He's got, what do you think, 2 laps to do it? 2 laps to do it, probably.
Yeah.
17 laps.
Contact!
Oh!
I like that. That's very
synchronized spinning, and that's going to let James Butler up into 6th place. Big
I give
news
that
for the Brit.
solid 9.75.
Synchronized spin.
Yes.
Indeed. Not really sure why we're checking out Timo. Again, no disrespect, Timo, but it's nothing really going on with you right now. Azar has rejoined behind Wayne Medeiros. Medeiros probably, I would think, at fault for that, but I'd have to take a closer look on the matter. Wayne did definitely make contact with the rear of Azar's car, so there would have to be some kind of mitigating circumstances to avoid a penalty there, or Azar can not report it. These are also options. So I think this is the fight we're going to be looking at for the remainder of the race. Azar, he's going down the inside again.
He went wide.
Azar
Medeiros
got the job done again. Wayne Medeiros getting a bit wide, opens the door for the Swede. I wonder if that's maybe him giving the spot back after the rear contact, perhaps.
It is quite possible, yes. He did run into him.
Wayne is traditionally a gentlemanly racer. It is possible that he just gave the position back. But it is also possible he made a mistake and just went wide there. We'll have to see. Wayne, if you watch this, give us a shout. Was it intentional or was it not intentional?
Both.
I do like the name of Wayne's team there, Vic Team. That's interesting.
Is that a dick pill?
I mean, it's probably a dick pill. Oh,
What?
Azar spun it around. Did it on his own.
Oh my God.
It kind of makes it redundant if Wayne gave up the position intentionally because he's got it back. And there is a very damaged car.
For Canadian.
Oh, he was waiting for him. Oh my God.
Wayne waiting for Azar Alamore. I don't know why, because I didn't see any contact there. That was just Azar losing the car seemingly on his own.
And
Dude, you gave him a chance. You gave him a chance. He blew his chance. You don't need to,
Mm-hmm.
How ultra Canadian is that? Oh, very sorry, very sorry.
Significantly damaged front end now for the Porsche of Azar Alamore. That should leave him fairly open to being overtaken through the twisty bits because he's not going to have great front end grip. And that will probably lead to him overheating the tires, which I can say, as a Porsche driver, was a significant problem throughout the entire race.
The way that Wayne is driving right now, I think he's just waiting. He's letting him go and take it.
I don't know why, though.
Well.
Like, he gave the spot back. That's the gentlemanly move. I'm okay with that. But after that, I mean, like, Azar took himself out. Like, you go for it, boss. Go.
Yeah, he should have, for sure.
As Byron said, that's too Canadian.
Ultra Canadian.
Well, I don't think they want to be Canadian. I mean, Swedish women are notoriously gorgeous.
We could have them imported.
And Brazilian woman. I mean, aren't they rated the top in the world?
There are Brazilian women in Canada, sir.
There's a certain amount of
he's waiting.
Plastic surgery.
He's waiting. They're both waiting for each other.
Think Wayne, guys. I think it will be Wayne who gets it in the end.
He just pushed him.
And
What's
Michael,
the absolute fuck?
and Michael Magas comes up to bring up the rear. Your winner, Mike Stopmill. Christoph Verstappen fastest lap.
How does it feel to be beaten by two guys who are literally just dragging ass intentionally?
I am not in any way surprised. I was significantly off the pace this entire race.
I would recommend much faster performance in the future.
I definitely would agree with that statement.
Oh, that was an entertaining ending there. Congrats, Azar and Wayne.
And now, of course, here I am, all happy, going, hey, do I get pole position? And then I joined the grid and realized, no, that is not the case.
Don't stop 8, Mr. Number 9.
What is it with you in the top 8 stuff?
We're going to do top 10 on the Aquila. There, you happy?
Top 10 is way better. It's easy to remember. Standard. Here
Actually, we're going to do top
go.
7.5.
That would be interesting. Azar Alamore starting from pole position with Wayne Medeiros joining him on the front row. They are off, and here we go. Good start by James Butler. Not a very good one by Wayne. He slips to third place. Sean Kenny off to a pretty decent start there. And
Whoa.
a little bit of contact there between Timo and Mr. Sean Kenny. Sean Kenny goes out wide, and here comes Christoph Verstappen trying to out-drag, and he's got a great run down the straightaway. Whoa. As he just blows Wayne Medeiros out of the water and moves into third position. At the front, James Butler trying to go around the outside, and it does not work out. Azar's going to retain the lead. Sean Kenny off the track, too, I do believe. He is at the back of the pack.
I was pretty happy with that start, starting from 6th, and now I'm in 3rd place.
Indeed. Well, I'd imagine that KTM should be a bit of a rocket off the line with its relatively low body weight.
Yeah, I think it's all that stuff that happened on the long straight there. Everyone kind of went left and right, and I just kept drafting the same guy.
I mean, that's a good plan.
Sometimes
not making the move is the way to go. Wayne Medeiros shutting the door in the background there on Mike Stopmill, who is running in 6th position.
Are you sure?
I mean, for now.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in the grid. It's an easy mistake to make.
Oh boy, here we go.
I mean, he's going for it now.
Oh.
He is down the inside of Timo and is going to move into 5th position and is now the top Lotus in the field.
Oh, Timo, don't give up. Oh, what the? Don't go there.
Timo did not give up. He tried to get it back. It was unsuccessful, though.
Unfortunate.
Martin Edmunds on the trail of Christoph Verstappen in the lead. It is
And
Azar Alamore.
Watch the distance.
Oh yeah, this is where
he's gone.
this is where you're gonna get
He's
left
gone.
for dead. You got 2 Porsches ahead of you. One's drafting off the other. Like you're just done. Some flashing the headlights there from Christoph Verstappen. Not sure what's up with that.
What a Yev move. Trying to get his concentration off.
Just letting you know he's coming from like 3 car lengths back. And Wayne Medeiros, is he getting out of the way of Stopmill, or is he's just going hardcore defensive? Okay.
He's trying to make sure he doesn't get the draft.
I'm not really sure if that served him, though. I find people are way too willing to change lines for what ends up being no actual benefit.
You can't prove that.
Little mistake by Azar here.
You are sticking with the Porsches pretty nicely there, as it is Christoph Verstappen looking down. Is this the inside? No, this is the outside of the turn. That's not going to work out very well. Good defense by Azar Alamore. He retains the lead. Martin Edmunds trying to slip up the inside there, but he was not quite tight enough to the... I'm just calling this the Omega curve, basically, because Kenny Omega, OP. And Martin Edmunds continues to run in 3rd place. Mike Stopmill yet to pass Wayne Medeiros. But, Mike Magas taking a scenic detour in the background. He drops to last position.
Wah, wah.
He's looking for the enchanted forest.
You know, James Butler's just like dragging ass trying to let you go past him, right?
I mean, probably not. James Butler takes great pleasure in beating me.
Good on him.
Stop Mill is still being held up by Medeiros, despite the obvious pace discrepancy between the two cars. And in the background there is Sean Kenny on his recovery drive. He's up to 7th position. The lovely Swedish fans. Oh, in the background, Stopmill was going for it. Did he get it? It looks like he did. Mike Stopmill up into 4th position.
Next up, he's going to shove me off the track. Maybe.
I approve.
He knows how to position himself without shoving people. Puts himself exactly where he needs to be so that you lose just enough time to lose a spot to him.
Mm-hmm.
But good at it.
Well, that's good to know. And the pressure continues here. I feel like Azar is maybe the slowest car of this group, and that's going to make things a lot interesting.
Yeah, that's why I'm keeping up with them. I mean, Christoph.
Well, we know Christoph's got amazing pace. Hope everyone enjoyed the WTCR commentary from last night. We then took Paul and put him in the fight sim and had some fun with that. It's good.
Hell yeah, that was great.
Good times. He completely destroyed a guy's knee without trying.
Yeah, everybody go quiz Paul Riccobeni about the fight sim, and you too shall be intrigued.
You'll be intrigued by the wonderful world of fisticuffs. Christoph Verstappen looking to make a move there. Azar going defensive, but oh man, Christoph got a really good run. As long as he doesn't go off the track. And well, that was maybe why he carried so much speed through there. And Wayne Medeiros off the track in the background as well. And that has allowed Martin Edmunds and Mike Stoffmill up onto the boat.
Stoffmill, sorry about that. It looks like I didn't give you enough room there.
That's reason.
Never give Stoffmill enough room.
Ended up driving in the grass. Oh, there we go.
He escorted me. He escorted me off the track in turn 1, so I have no pity. Stoffmill up into 2nd position now, ahead of Martin Edmunds. We'll see if Martin can come back at him, but you guys are coming up to the flight straight, and I'm gonna make a bold prediction that you don't have anything for him in the straightaway.
I was trying to stick to him to get a little bit of draft. Anything. Something.
Anything at all. 40 kilos or 80 kilos and he is still going to kick your ass in the straightaway.
Yep. Sad. Speaking of the TCR commentary, it's currently processing, so it will be available to everyone, for everyone to see.
Processing? Mike said he was going to get it to you like 3 days ago.
We filmed it last night.
He gave it to me this morning.
This morning? You stayed up an extra 72 hours just to play fucking Dota?
I played one game of Dota. It took 30 minutes.
I know. So the running joke is that I can't tell time and have spatial time dilation problems.
I like it. Verstappen a little bit wide there as he's still trying to find a way past Martin Edmunds. Now, Martin, what are you thinking at this point when you're trying to defend against a car that has that kind of grunt advantage over you?
He's thinking he drank too much coffee and has to poop really bad.
I'm trying to
as Mike
stick with these guys.
Goes for the lead.
Like, if I can get ahead in this little mess here, then I don't have to worry too much about Verstappen. But here he comes. Oh boy.
Verstappen trying to find a way around. You're trying to find a way around Azar Alamore. Oh, almost contact there. And In the background, Sean Kenny up to 6th place. Nope, 7th place still. So Sean's pretty stalled there. He's not been able to make room up. Whoa! Martin gets down the inside of Azar Alamore. Azar had a bad run through there. Christopher Verstappen's coming through. Christopher Verstappen wants to make it 3 wide. Heading into the third corner. Can he hold it? And that Porsche's got a lot of power. And this could end really badly.
Y'all just best get out the way.
Oh, held it together. Azar holds on against Christopher Verstappen, but there's Martin Edmunds in the background going off the track for no reason. I have no idea why.
Because I ran into Mr. Christopher Verstappen.
Wayne Medeiros did end up going off the track and has lost a spot to both Sean Kenny and James Butler.
I was not very happy when that happened.
So
I was swearing in French there.
Oh, Verstappen gets into the back of Azar Alamore. Both the Porsches are off.
Oh boy.
Porsche on Porsche violence, and it is now 1, 2, 3. Lotus is at the front.
And Sean's going wide right there.
And then, yeah, it's the Porsches all at the back. This is lovely. All that selling of how this was the track that Porsches were going to dominate, and we're doing absolutely nothing. Sean Kenny gets past Timo Konecny, and next up is Martin Edmunds in the KTM.
You sound like somebody really kicked you really hard when you're trying to mispronounce his last name for the 14th time.
Yep. And in the background, it's James Butler is the top Porsche in 5th place.
Go, James, go!
This is an embarrassing moment for Porsches everywhere. Martin Edmunds, what do you think at this point to try to get past, try to break this Lotus absolute domination at the front of the pack?
Well, it's Timo. Timo was struggling a little bit with this car. So at this point, I was going to say, I'm waiting for mistakes like these. And there you go, Sean just lost the position.
In the meantime, Mike Stoppmill is running away with it. Still 9 minutes to go, but I feel very content in saying that he would have to make several mistakes to fumble this lead at this point.
He wins. Oh!
Well, Lotus is side by side! Timo spun around by Sean Kenny, and now into 4th place.
Hit that guy. That's penalty.
Now into 4th place is James Butler.
Oh boy, a Porsche, just what I want to see.
The Bootlerian one is up into 4th position. Wayne Medeiros also getting through there into 5th place.
Time for the Bootlerian Jihad.
Indeed. Swedish version.
It's not Swedish.
Just saying, we're in Sweden. That's the Swedish version. There you go.
It's just digital Sweden.
Head out.
Are you saying that this in no way is totally replicating what Sweden looks like at this time of year?
I mean, Sweden probably isn't even a real place, so.
Whoa. I think Azar might take issue with that.
I think probably he's just French and just pretending to be from somewhere else.
And your good buddy Jurgen Walby probably also not terribly happy with that idea.
I mean, I haven't seen him around in a long time, but it could be some Truman Show shit, and he's not a real person.
Interesting.
How very Alex Jones of you there, Byron.
Try to turn the French guy. Oh wait,
doesn't exist. It's a hoax.
I'm telling you all that this product is the great product of all time. It will do everything for you. It is scientifically proven, but not scientifically proven.
Something wrong with that boy.
There is something very wrong with him. He's going to have a heart attack on TV at some point. Michael Magas battling for 8th place with Azar Alamore.
He's on the screen.
Indeed. Someone's close enough to him to actually get on the screen.
Oh boy. Where are you going, Mike? Where are you going? You gotta see inside. Inside.
I got this. Just herding him gently towards the inside of the curve.
Alright, well done then.
Azar Alamore trying... Talk about how this race has really gone badly for Azar. He was leading the race for a large portion of it. Looked like he was in for a podium. Now he's 9th place.
Oh. Oh, a little bit more camera action for Magas. Oh.
Very off the track there, Azar.
Oh my God.
Azar, it's a right-hand turn at Albuquerque.
Oh no.
I saw that kid run Azar off the road. Penalties.
He completely locked the brake there. Couldn't regain.
Whoa! Timo off the track as well.
Oh boy.
The tires at this point are probably not terribly fresh.
Yeah, my front left was screaming of pain.
Christoph Verstappen up into 6th place. Well, I mean, at this point, if your tire's not poutine, I'm surprised.
They were actually holding on pretty good. 20 minutes, kind of a saving grace. 20-minute race.
I think you underestimate your ability to kill tires. I've seen you kill tires in a 15-minute race.
Yeah, my worst recent outing was the FR3 at, what's it called? Twin Rig Motegi. Oh, man. I had 1% left on the 2 front tires by the end of the race.
Can't really say anything. Unfortunately, that was the race where my game crashed and I was unable to finish. It was very unfortunate because I thought my team was in a good position, and then me and Jesse ended up with penalties, and John Barker ended up with penalties. It was not a good look. It was not a good look for our team.
And I did change the tire too, which is what's the worst part about it.
Wayne Medeiros slipstreaming up to James Butler. Someone touched a little bit off there. I'm trying to figure out who that is. That is
That's
Sean Kenny. Sean Kenny off the track and still in 3rd, but lost a spot there to Martin Edmunds. Martin, did you escort him off the track?
Not at all. No touch.
I
was too far from him.
I'm not sure that I believe you.
Oh, well, watch the replay. You have the file. I can tell you, he was way too far from me.
Not only does he have the file, but he has an editing program. We can make it look however we want.
Yeah.
We make it look like Andy did it.
I can make this happen, yeah. Well, let's not be crazy. We can't make it look like Andy did it.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, we can't. There's not 13 cars.
I mean, that depends on how far you were willing to go. All I hear is a lot of quitter talk.
I mean, I feel like I could easily make this appear to be your fault more easily than Andy's fault.
I'm fine with that. I'll take the heat. What are you going to do, take points off my license?
Although, in reality, let's face it, if I were to doctor video to make it look like it was someone's fault, it would be in the pit lane, and it would be Lachlan. This is not Wayne Medeiros. This is Sean Kenny. Thank you. So, quick stop mill in front of Edmunds, Kenny, Butler, Medeiros, Verstappen, Konecny, Magas, and Alamore. That is your 9-car field. Very, very anemic field today. Very disappointing. We say goodbye to Sweden. Such a lovely country in such paltry fashion.
And all of them hogtied, apparently. Weird. I don't know how they get around.
I mean, it's a natural hobby of theirs, reversing the hogtie.
Neat.
Let's see here. And no one within a second of each other, so not any particularly scintillating action going on right now.
Boring.
Medeiros is kind of close to Butler, but doesn't seem to really be closing the gap in any way, so looks like Mr. Butler will, pending any mistakes, take the top Porsche honors.
Are you saying that James does mistakes?
I'm saying that all racers make mistakes. We saw Mike Stoppmill make a mistake earlier. I mean, come on.
True that. He ran into Magas. But that's because he's invisible to him.
Yeah, he doesn't see me. Those of us that are slow, he does not see.
Little known fact, Mike Stoffmill can't see anything slower than 60 kilometers an hour. You have to achieve that speed just to be visible on his wavelength.
Indeed. You have to vibrate it at least at that frequency.
Oh,
James!
Here's a mistake.
James off the track. It looks like he's okay, though. I mean, if you're going to go off the track, the area with the giant runoff is probably your best bet.
Yeah, but it's another Porsche behind him.
Indeed, it is letting Wayne Medeiros catch up to him at a very rapid rate. Can Medeiros get the job done? I would say no. He locked up the brakes there.
Yeah. Too bad.
So for now, James Butler's 4th place is safe. Christoph Verstappen, though, might be the danger man. He is very out of position in 6th place.
I went to danger zone. He's coming.
And he's coming for some Brazilian food. Azar Alamore and Michael Magas at it again. It looks like Azar went for the inside lunge there, and it did not come off.
He didn't pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps he should tug harder.
Perhaps.
Here comes Christoph.
Christoph Verstappen looking to get past the Porsche of Wayne Medeiros.
Ooh.
This will be the second to last lap. I do believe they'll get one more after
I think
this.
they touched right there.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really sure. Well, there we are. Azar Alamore still on the tail of Michael Magas. The bumper is still being shown to the Porsche local driver. Goes down
Mike's
the
going wide
inside.
again.
That's just my normal line.
Yeah, but
didn't
you're
take
the only one who
advantage of
does
it.
it that way.
It's a faster
So
line. I
therefore
mean,
it
if you
is
want to
faster.
shove your way up the inside, go ahead. But you'll that'll happen. And Azar finishing a race yet again with no front end.
We're gonna call him the bumper killer.
I mean, so long as it's his own bumpers, I don't care. I would like to tip my hat to Azar. It was a fun battle back there. So, hopefully we get to do it again sometime. In the meantime, Christoph Verstappen still has not found a way past the 2 Porsches ahead of him here. He's in 6th place, but could finish as high as 4th without a particularly large amount of movement. But he's got to find a way through very, very soon because they are coming up to the Omega curve. And he's off the track. That will end that discussion, and in fact relegate him to 7th.
You know, with all these mistakes out here, I think that Andy Blade might be able to finish 12th in a race like this.
I mean, it would be an impressive achievement for him, but it would definitely be possible. James Butler hangs on to 4th place across the line. Mike Stoppmill, Martin Edmunds, and Sean Kenny are your podium. 5th place to Wayne Medeiros, 6th place to Tino Konecny, and then it is Christoph. What are you doing, Christoph? As Michael Magas tours the grass and may open the door for Azar Alamore, but not enough time left. It will be Michael Magas in 8th and Azar Alamore in 9th position for the Windward Racing Team. Mike Stoppmill, clean sweep, fastest lap, and race victory.
And I heard he made some delightful batch of scones on the way.
So, to go to the standing leaderboard, now that the series is over, we can safely say that Mr.
Might have penalties.
Stockmeal won. Well, yeah, even with penalty, it's not going to change the top 3 anyway. So Stockmeal, 500.
I mean, I could get Jack to handle it and slip him some gash.
So Stockmill is first. Sean Kenny finishes second with 476 points, and Yevgeny Lazarenko 451. So Mr. Stockmill taking it by almost 60 points. So Stockmill won this championship pretty easily. Of course, these scores are pending penalties, but yeah, I mean, Sean would have to take, over 30 points penalty to lose to Yevgeny, so the top three will remain. In fourth, we have Jesse Hampton, Azar Alamuri in fifth, sixth is Martin Edmunds, James Butler in seventh, Timo Koniecki in eighth, Ariel Zatoni in nine. He missed the two last round. And Wayne Medeiros, who also missed 2 rounds, finishing 10th. There we go.
Who's this in a tent?
10th.
Oh, my bad.
All right. That is all for the Swedish Högtid. Next up is the Aquila Cup. That'll be really fun. Those are amazingly fun to drive cars. And they're free. So there is no excuse to miss out on the fun.
Aquila, you say?
Aquila, I do say.
Cars for the car god.
Radiators for his throne.